Police in Thailand have found the bodies of more than 250 babies at a temple. The police found the bodies of as many as 2,000 babies in a locked wooden box, which had been sealed for a year. The police packed each baby's body into a white bag and placed it neatly. After that, I found a famous local monk to save the soul of the dead baby. It turned out that in Thailand, abortion is a prohibited behavior. People who have unwanted pregnancies don't want children, so they have no choice but to go to black clinics to have abortions. The clinic here can only be described as dirty and messy. The operation process is also very simple, that is, use a special clip to directly pull out the embryo, put it in a random bag, discard it in the toilet, and finally hand it over to the monks in the temple to burn it on this day. Da received a news that he went to interview a girl who died accidentally due to a failed abortion, and the doctor who performed the operation had disappeared. Just when Da picked up the camera to take pictures of the girl, Da was suddenly stunned. But the weird thing was not over yet. When the police carried the body downstairs, Da was frightened and panicked on the spot. In the evening, his wife Lucy took a Mimi out for supper, but their Amy seemed very strange at this time. Facing the empty road in front of her, Amy always said some strange words. Even after returning home, Amy kept talking to herself beside the bed. Lucy was very worried when she saw this scene. Lucy told Amy not to talk to herself all the time, but Amy said that she was playing games with her brother. After hearing this, Lucy thought it was Amy who wanted a younger brother, but Amy said that I already had one. Immediately pointing to the school bag, Lucy instantly felt a chill down his back. Then, Lucy opened Amy's school bag and found that it turned out to be a baby's body. Lucy was terrified. Her husband Da heard the screams and rushed to open Amy's school bag in time, but inside it turned into a tattered doll. Amy said that the doll was brought back from the temple, but Da thought it was a bit weird. So early the next morning, Da came to the temple to take pictures and then flipped through the photos in the car. There was a child's face in the photo. Da immediately asked his colleague Paul to check for help, but Paul thought it should be caused by lighting problems, but Da thinks things are not that simple. Soon, night fell, and weird things happened. Da discovers that a painting at home is full of children's handprints. Da's first instinct was that Amy made it, so the next morning, Da asked Amy what happened to the painting, but Amy said that it was made by her younger brother. Da thinks that Amy is lying, because there are only 3 people in their family. Where is the younger brother? Could it be that there is something unclean in the house? Novia came to the black clinic alone and wanted to have an abortion, but the doctor lit a stick of incense and bowed, then took out an iron forceps, and without any anesthetic, forcibly pulled the embryo out of it, and finally threw it into the bathroom. After her boyfriend Kyle heard the news, he hurried over. But it was too late. Looking at the blood-stained operating table, Kyle was terrified in his heart and hurried home with Novia by his arm. However, they never imagined that after this abortion incident, weird things began that night. When the two had just fallen asleep, a black shadow flashed by the window. Kyle opened his eyes, only to find that Novia was gone. Kyle looked around and saw that the door was open, and when he went outside to check, he heard a woman crying behind him. Kyle turned his head. Kyle woke up from the dream. Well, it was just a dream. In order to make up for the guilt towards Novia, Kyle took Novia to the hospital for recuperation. At the same time, strange phenomena also appeared on Da's side. Da is communicating with his colleagues via video, but the screen shows that Amy is standing behind him. Da was instantly frightened and his back felt cold. Amy obviously followed Lucy out. Da turned his head slowly, but there was no one behind him. At this moment, the computer screen kept flickering, and the shadow of a child appeared on the screen. Da was terrified. Da hardly found a video camera, wanting to record all this. The next day, before dawn, Da rushed to the study to check, and there were more and more black shadows in the picture. At this moment, Da panicked completely. Is there really something unclean in the house? But Da never imagined that this was just the beginning. More weird things are coming quietly. Every time the unscrupulous Dr. Selena gave an abortion, she had to burn a stick of incense and worship. After taking out the baby, she would pack it up and hand it over to the monks in the temple for burning. But on this day, something strange happened. Selena heard the miserable cries of babies all over the room, and Selena was so frightened that she sat on the operating table. Immediately afterwards, the body became uncontrollable, as if something grabbed the legs, then picked up the pliers, and stabbed them hard into his lower body. After finishing the work, Selena desperately ran towards the outside of the house. Numerous wraiths were already waiting here. Selena was forced to a corner, and the wraiths were slowly approaching. When Wraith Lin heard this, he felt that this was the truth, so he dissipated and left. As for Lucy, it was miserable. At this time, Lucy had been controlled by the Wraith, crying like a baby, and her strength became stronger and stronger. Da was knocked unconscious on the ground with just a push. When Da woke up again, both Lucy and Amy had disappeared. Da immediately drove to the temple. As soon as Da entered the morgue, countless baby corpses rolled to the ground behind him. and Da ran away in fright. After a while, Da heard Lucy's voice calling for help. This time, Lucy and Amy were in the morgue, being dragged by countless ghosts. After Da arrived, he smashed open the stone cabinet with a wooden stick, and dragged Lucy and Amy out with all his might. But at this moment, Amy suddenly asked, Da looked at Lucy with a flustered expression, but at this moment, Lucy was holding Amy in her arms. Then who is Amy in my hand? Da looked back, and the Amy in his hand instantly turned into a corpse. It turned out that Da had a love affair when he was young, which caused the girl to get pregnant unexpectedly, but Da didn't want to ruin his future because of this incident. So he tricked the woman into having an abortion. However, I didn't expect that after many years, the retribution would finally fall on me. Afterwards, Selena and the monks from the temple were captured by the police. Selena confessed to the police that she had handled more than 2,000 dead babies, some of which were older and still alive. I have been raising them for many years. In order to support these children, I can only earn abortion money against my conscience. Because abortion is illegal in Thailand, underground clinics are increasingly popular, and this movie is based on real events. In 2010, at Baudishan Temple in Thailand, the police discovered a total of 2,002 baby corpses. The news shocked the world when it was reported, and it also gave people a new look at unmarried pregnancy. And for life, we should have a heart of awe.